Hey, welcome to Intercourse Friday. I think it's October. It's October 3rd. Um, uh, Yesterday was my 10-year wedding anniversary, um, which is a record for me. And uh, my longest relationship before that was 10 days. So uh, um, my plan today was to announce the winners. And hey, dude, can we close the grids while I do this?
Hold
Was
on
to
a sec.
announce the winners, and thank you. And for the fan challenge, and I've been trying to push that head all day, but I don't have the name of the winners. I'm sorry. Not that you need to know this, but it's just, first of all, I want to do all the winners at once. I don't want to do a few in one category, a few in the other. So it's just taking a little bit of time with some of figuring out the military personnel. It's a little more complicated in terms of where folks are. And then vetting out everybody else. So it's a little bit of an administrative process that takes some time. But here's what I'll do. Hopefully I'll get them Monday or Tuesday. As soon as I get them, I will post them on Twitter and Instagram, and then maybe have a couple of the winners Skype in to this, whatever this is, next week, and I can actually talk to some of the winners. Again, I'm sorry. I really hope to be able to announce today. I know it's, it'll be fucking finale by the time I announce people, but they're coming. What's going on? Not a lot. I'm so behind on scripts. I was explaining to somebody today that this season, especially, the rewrite process for me is really laborious in that there's so many layers and nuances as we come into this final season, and not even narrative stuff. It's all emotional stuff. It's just remembering the sort of tissue that connects all these people, and so I kind of do my first pass on a draft, and then the rewriting process is somewhat complicated because I sort of go in and try to layer it as much as I can, and without it feeling too obviously too loaded and too much going on. So my production team is pretty much prepping on smoke and my word at this point. So I'm buried here trying to finish episode 12, and then I have one more after this, and it's really it's very gratifying to feel like I've been able to tell the story I wanted to tell, the way I wanted to tell it, and that people are still paying attention, and yet it's very it's kind of odd knowing that there won't be another Sons of Anarchy script after 7/13. So as much as I'm looking forward to a week off before I start The Bastard Executioner. It's pretty crazy. I always go through this weird post-mortem, like it's like postpartum depression when the show ends. I have this like 2 or 3 week window where I'm not quite sure who I am. I'm not writing. What am I doing? And I'm just more crazy than usual. And I have a feeling this will be an exceptionally complicated postpartum experience this season. So that's it. I think our EW issue is out with Charlie and Katie on the cover. Some good inside tips from Mandy, inside information about the show. What else is going on? Casting wise, nothing, I hope there's no new casting news because we're shooting episode 12. That would be a drag. So that's it. Again, I'm really, really sorry. I don't have the names of the winners. And I really should get back to writing so you actually have an episode to watch in November or December, whenever the fuck that one airs. So let's just open up the lines to some questions, and I will give as incredibly vague and long-winded answers.
Opening up the lines, and while we wait for people to show up, if anybody has questions in the text chat, Kurt can see that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just joining, if you're at twingalaxieslive.com, there's little Skype buttons you can click, which will allow you to call in and Skype and you pay proper homage to King Kurt, because this is his show.
Wow. We have a lovely woman right there who, there she is, in box number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, box 5. Do you have a question? Can we open up box 5?
Yeah, she should be able to.
Okay.
So the second clubhouse has been blown up.
So tell me your name before you curse at me.
Pardon?
Tell me your name before you start swearing at me.
Do you want my porn name or my real name?
I want whatever name you'd like to share with us.
Liza.
Okay. Welcome. Now, swear. Go ahead and swear at me.
What the fuck happened to the clubhouse? This is the second clubhouse that is blown up. Are we going to be able to see them back at Telemaro Clubhouse by the end of the season? I miss it.
We will address that issue in the last season. I won't tell you whether or not it's back, but we will definitely address the fact that they have a clubhouse that's been decimated by an Irish explosion. Here's my lovely wife. Hi, Katie.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. I love you.
I love you. How was your thing? Welcome.
It was really good.
Welcome
Hi.
to this is my life.
Hello.
This is Katie. Tell them what you did today.
Where do I do?
Yeah, just tell them what you did.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Today I was on, I did an interview from the house for CBS Sunday Morning, and we talked all about my life, and then they interviewed my fabulous husband, and he talked about his life and my life. And then I was just up on Sunset Strip in Hollywood talking about all the rock and roll clubs I used to sing in.
Where did you go?
We went up to the Viper Room. We were by the Whiskey. We went to the Roxy. And I just talked about and where Tower Records used to be. Sad Tower Records isn't there. And then I picked up this copy of Entertainment Weekly.
I just pitched that.
I just happened to pick it up. I was going to show you. Did you see it?
I did. I saw it online. I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah. Here it is.
Wow. Wow.
There you go.
There you
There's
go.
me and Mr. Hunnam. Very nice.
All right.
Anyway, that's what I did.
Okay. When is CBS morning air? What Sunday morning?
Yes, I don't know. They don't have an air date yet.
Okay.
They don't have an air date, so
Okay.
soon they will,
All right.
though.
All right.
Okay. How are your fans? Hi, fans.
Hi.
Can they see me?
Yes. So they
Hi,
can see
wave.
it.
Everybody wave.
Yes, they can wave.
Hi.
Yes.
Hello. Wow. Nice orange hair. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that. Or pink hair.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hi, you guys.
I never do that.
He does.
I
Well,
do that.
Oh, and I do this. Look at you have all the girls tonight.
I know.
See all the
They're
girls
already
like the
swearing
heart.
at me.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah,
There she goes. I can do it too.
Yeah, okay.
I can all do it. All right. Anyway,
Right.
bye.
Right.
I love you. I'm gonna sit over here and read this.
Okay. I have no privacy. People just walk in. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So we will address the issue of the clubhouse, and but the table survives, so that's good. All right, let's do another question. Let's do the orange hair or the red hair, box number 2.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, my question is,
What's your name?
My name is Annie Pollack.
Hi, Annie. Can you squat down, Annie? Because all I see is your nose and your mouth. There you
Is
are.
that better?
That's much better.
Okay. My question is you write how Jax is kind of following in his dad's footsteps, and well, now we see him backpedaling. Would you say now he's may fallen into his mother's footsteps, or on his own road to who knows where?
What season are you on? Where are you? Are you
I'm on this season.
on this season? I think, part of the Jax's journey has always been what father, I think Gemma even had a line in the pilot where she says, I want to make sure he's following in the right father's footsteps, at that point meaning Clay. So Jax has always sort of been, his struggle has been, can I be the head of an outlaw organization that does violent and somewhat heinous things and still rectify the fact that, I wanted to be a good husband. I want to be a good father, and, he's an interesting guy in that he is really driven by his own sort of moral code, and he's a guy, lately, because the show is ending, I'm getting a lot of comparisons to The Shield, and it's been interesting for me because to me, Vic Mackey was a guy who was never troubled by a conscience. He was never, Vic very rarely experienced remorse. He very rarely, felt guilty. He just wouldn't allow himself to go there. But Jax is definitely a guy who, experiences that remorse and feels that. So he gets pushed and pulled. And to me, those are always been the push and pull of Clay. Clay is a guy who, didn't really experience remorse. And there's even, it's even questionable is even at the end was that just his state of mind, or did he really deeply experience some sense of remorse and want forgiveness? Where John Teller, it was always John Teller's struggle, and it ultimately broke him at the end. So, I think Gemma's need to get Jax on Clay's path was not just about protecting the club, but it's also that she didn't want to see her son sort of become this broken guy. So I think, I think Jax is really at this point influenced by all those things. He's influenced by his dad. He's influenced by Clay. But after Tara, I think he's really kind of off the chain. I think he's on his own path this year, and not really at this stage of the game. doesn't really give a shit about legacy, doesn't really give a shit about, you know, the ramifications of his actions. You know, he's really sort of moving through at episode 3 with a sense of abandon. And you know, I don't think he's necessarily on a specific path in terms of his dad. I think he's sort of, you know, cut loose from all that. So, see, a vague, long-winded answer. It's my specialty. Down here in the corner in the plaid shirt, you look very familiar. Box number 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Hi, Kurt.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Nice to talk to you again.
Tell us your name again.
My name's Alexis.
Hi, Alexis.
Hey. So every time I talk to you, I always tend to go a little towards the music. It was the first thing that caught me about this show. I love it. I love Bob. I've seen Katie and them live plenty of times. And I just want to know, are you guys going to be writing another song? I mean, Days Gone was epic, and I want to hear you guys are going to start writing again.
Yeah, I wrote. Thank you. I appreciate that, as does Bob. And yeah, the music has always been for me a key element in this show, and from the jump. And yeah, Bob is really great. You know, he does all our covers, and I had a song. I had these lyrics in my head for about 2 years now, and I wrote a song and I gave it to Bob, and he did a great job with it. And we had the White Buffalo sing it, and I think it turned out pretty well. So we'll end up using that probably in one of the last 3 or 4 episodes. So I kind of dig it, and you know, you can hand the Buffalo. You know, you could give him the fucking phone book to sing, and it just sounds intense and beautiful. So, you know, I'm smart enough to sort of, you know, give it to people that make it better. But yeah, hopefully that'll end up in an episode. So thank you. Let's go to the dog people. We're the dog people in box number 7, 8. The 2 ladies that just had the dog. I think it was a dog. Was it a dog? Okay. Tell us your names.
I'm Shannon. And I'm Adriana.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, nice to meet you. Oh my God. Okay. First question. Did you happen to see, we made a video for you, and we worked pretty hard on it, and we tweeted it to you quite a few times. Did you happen to see it?
No. You know, I just, right now, it's very, you know, I jump on Twitter a few times a day and try to update people, but it's very hard for me to plug into my feed right now just because I've been so busy. I mean, I try to, because I see the effort and time that people put into some of those videos, and but I've really not had a chance to look at any, at least in the last few weeks or so. But just keep tweeting it. Eventually, I'll see it. I'll watch it. What was the video about?
Oh.
Was it just like shots of Charlie's ass and to like a cool song?
I'll put it. You were in it. Pictures of you, pictures of Katie.
Oh.
We sang the theme song too. Yeah. We did a cover of it.
Wow.
And
okay.
Also, so our real question though.
This is our real question.
Okay.
It's fast though. Okay. Now we did ask Jackson this, and he did not know the answer. So now we're just gonna ask you.
Jackson, my son, Jackson.
What?
Do you know Jackson?
We're friends on Facebook.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right. So, what's your question?
Okay. All right. Now, SAMCRO is usually spelled the acronym. However, in one of the first episodes,
Am I doing this right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? John.
It's the book. It's like the life and death of
Right.
Sam. Like birth.
Right. Yeah, to me, it's both. It goes. I use it both ways. To me, it's the it's what is it? Acronym, is that the right word? Where it's the first initial, and which spells out SAMCRO. But then John Teller personified that and turned it into a guy's name, and I think people use it both ways, and I use it both ways in scripts and stuff. So it's essentially it really depends on the usage. I think John. JT personified it as, I think it was more or less about the club as its own entity, as its own, sort of has a life of its own. So and then when people use it in terms of referencing the club, I think it's kind of used both ways. So there's no specific rule for when you would use either one, other than, I just mix it up. So thank you for the video and the questions. Let's go to this lady in box number 3 with the, is it slightly green hair? Or maybe it's the lighting. What's your name? I can hardly hear you. Is there anything you can do to help me? It sounds very tinny.
This happened to me last time. It's usually about 5.
Okay, I can kind of hear you now, so.
Okay. I'll be really quick, actually.
Okay.
I just wanted, first and foremost, to be a fan, not only of Jersey, but also all of your work. I guess what I wanted to know is, as close to the end of this amazing show, what are you and the cast members doing to kind of celebrate the end of this amazing run?
I didn't catch that, hon. Can you ask me one more time?
I certainly can. Thank you for being patient with me. You and the cast members, are you doing anything to kind of celebrate the wrath of this amazing show?
Oh, I see. I see. We do a big, we do a wrap party at the end of every season, and I think this will be. I think the both the studio and network has thrown a few more dollars our way. So my sense is this will be a pretty big wrap party, and I think the guys are doing something individually. They're all friends, so I'm sure they're going to be sort of celebrating in their own way. But in terms of us as a group, I do a couple things. I started doing, this is going to sound self-serving, but I started doing Crew Appreciation Day about 3-4 seasons ago, where we just, we get a big tent at lunchtime. We serve really great gourmet food for the crew. We give away a bunch of gifts and prizes, and that this season was really cool because a lot of my crew have been there, or most of my crew have been there since day one as well. So that was fun, and that sort of had a celebratory goodbye vibe to it, and then the wrap party will be a much bigger event this year, I think. So we'll do that, and then everybody, I think, sort of celebrates or mourns in their own way. So, but and I'll go to the wrap party for about 7.5 minutes, have an anxiety attack, and leave. Let's do the gentleman in box 2. Thank you, hon. Who's looking mysterious in the shadows there? Tell us your name.
Hello, Kurt. My name is Nick.
Hey, Nick, how are you?
Good. How are you?
You kind of look like Kurtz. You kind of look like Kurtz in that light, like you're.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, I've been watching every set. This for told I
My friend, you're breaking up. I can only hear like every third word. Can you help me with that? Yeah, man, it's all in and out. I'll come back to you. Why don't you see if you can fix it? Let's go to the lady in box number 1.
Me?
Yes, you.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Marisol. You may know me as Minena77 from Twitter with the SOA Addicts.
Of course I do. Hi, Marisol. How are you?
I'm good, Kurt. How are you?
Okay.
My question relates to the Bratva book that Christopher Golden is writing.
Oh, yes, yes.
It's kind of a two-part question. First, are there any storylines that you wanted to use in the show that you didn't, that may show up in either this book or some other books that may come up? And did you collaborate with him at all in writing it?
That's a great question. We, I love the idea, and not just, for obvious reasons, but I love the idea of expanding the IP in terms of the world, and we're able to do it now. We have the comic books and this book, and if it does well, I'm sure there'll be another one. We have the game coming out soon. And my whole mandate for that was that it feel of the world and like the show, and that we don't step on or drive mythology, meaning we don't write anything that counters or sort of flies in the face of other storylines we've done. And we also don't do anything with existing characters that moves the mythology ahead that somehow will, impact my ability to continue to tell the story on the show. So I had conversations with Christopher, who's a great writer, and who actually, oddly enough, was I did a short story for some zombie mythology, and he was the editor on that. So I knew him from that project, and we just started kicking around ideas, and we decided to go with the notion of doing something that was a continuation of a storyline based on specific characters that happened in between seasons. So, and it has to do with the Russians, the Russian characters that we introduced, and season 3 or 4, I think, and. So it takes place in that period, and it involves several of our characters, but it sort of goes off on its own tangent, and doesn't necessarily drive any of our narrative or undermine anything we've done. So I thought he did a really great job. My involvement, honestly, was the initial stages of coming up with the ideas, figuring out how best to tell the story, working on the outline, and then Christopher did pretty much everything else. And then he came back, and everybody, the studio, the network, the book publisher, everybody had notes, so he was a little bit overwhelmed by that. And then I kind of weighed in on the next draft, and I think we're pretty close. So, I guess I don't even know what my credit is on the book, if there's anything, but it was just basically keeping it in line with what we've been doing on the show. But, the lion's share of it was all Chris. And we're doing the same thing with the game. We are, it's the world, and it's a completely different charter, and we'll have the intersection of some of our characters that we know intersect in these other towns with these other charters. So. Because to me, that's much more engaging than like fucking rehashing some story that people already know, which games tend to do. And well, I shouldn't say that, not all games, but games that are based on established properties like TV and films, they tend to just sort of rehash the initial story. So I didn't want to do that. So I think the people will be will enjoy it. I think the Bratva will be it is what it is, and it's not. It's definitely not Beowulf, but I think it'll be an enjoyable read. Okay, let's do one more question. Did you fix your mic, number 2, my gentleman there? Can I hear you?
Now?
Let me see. Tell me your name.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you
Nick.
now. So let's start over. What's your name?
Nick.
Nick. All right, Nick. What's your question?
I've been watching the beginning. I was in my
my friend, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I'm so sorry. Let's try it. We'll try again another time. Let's do one more. The lady in box 3. Sorry, my friend. The lady in, yes. Us?
Hey, Kurt.
Yes. Hey, tell us your names. Tell us your names.
Flo and Joe.
Hi, Flo and Joe.
Flo, yep. Like shirt.
Wow. Awesome. It's
Kurt,
just
I
just need. A guy can always use another bitch. So thank you very much.
I'm the best.
So do you have a question?
Yeah, I got a question about Southpaw.
Yes.
You're writing a movie, I heard.
Not only did I write it, it's already been shot.
What?
Really? Has it been released? Because I don't know too much about it.
No, it's not been released. Antoine Fuqua directed it. Jake Gyllenhaal is starring in it, and Forrest Whitaker. And they shot it this summer in Pittsburgh. So, Antoine is sort of, basking in the limelight of The Equalizer right now. But I think, he's into the cut. So I'm not sure when the Weinsteins want to release it. There is talk about potentially the end of the year, but I'm not sure. I guess it all depends what the cut looks like. But, I was there for some of the boxing sequences, and it looks pretty fierce. I mean, Jake really, Jake's wasn't a boxer, but Jake's an athlete, so it wasn't really difficult for him to get in. Well, I shouldn't say it wasn't difficult, but he was able to get into really great shape, and just looked really formidable, and was fucking fierce. So I know the boxing shit will look great. So, but I think I think the hope is to release that. There was talk about the end of the year. I don't know if that's going to happen. If not, I'm sure it'll be sometime in spring. But thank you for inquiring. That's it for tonight, guys. I have to actually go write the show that you all love and enjoy. Thank you so much. This is fun for me. It's a really great way for me to take a break and connect. And I'll keep doing it. And I promise, Monday or Tuesday, I will post the winners on Twitter and Instagram. And then the rest of you can all hate me. So have a good weekend. Thank you.